Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Caden. So today I will be showing you how I can bake bread with no vision. I'm going to be showing you how I have everything labeled and organized properly so that it makes baking really easy for me. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so on screen right now we have the recipe. In the bread, we're doing a classical white bread, which is 1.5 pounds. So we have water, sugar, salt, flour, yeast, and butter. That's about it. It's a pretty simple recipe, and now let me show you how I do it as a blind person. So this is our bread maker, which we will be using to make the bread. So inside of the bread maker we have the bread pan, which is where we put all of the ingredients. So I'm just going to pull this out. This is what the bread pan looks like, and this is where we are going to put all of the ingredients. So I'm going to show you the cupboard where my ingredients are, so here it is. Okay, so here is the cupboard which all of my ingredients and measuring tools are. I managed to fit everything into 2 containers. So in here we have some flour and also the measuring cup, which I will be using to put in the cup of water that we need. Okay, so starting with the first bin on the left here, we have a cup, and if you notice, it's brailled, so it says 1C or AC, but the A is basically just a number. So it says 1C for 1 cup, and all of the measuring cups are labeled in braille. I managed to order some of those. So this is the flour, and there is a braille label here on the container. And here we have the sugar, and if you notice right here, this is the braille label. It says sugar. And then we've also got measuring spoons, and these are all brailled, so it says 1 for 1 teaspoon, 1 tea for 1 tablespoon, and so on. And we've also got our yeast here, which I didn't need to label because it's a pretty shaped container, so I know what it is. Moving on to the next bin. So in the second bin, we have, this is the flour, or this is whole wheat flour, and if you notice, it's braille labeled WW flour for whole wheat flour. And then we've got another measuring cup, which is a 1/2, it says 1/2. And we've also got some salt, it's also braille labeled. And got another measuring cup, which is a 1/3, and then another measuring cup, which is a 1/4. And that is it. So first ingredient is water. Let's go do that. Okay, so this is the bread pan again, and then we have the cup, which we will be using to put the water in. I actually do need a towel, and the towels are in a drawer, which is perfect for me to know they are. So we have a tea towel here, which I'll use to dry my hands once I'm finished. So first is I usually put the bread pan kind of inside of the sink because I don't want water to spill on the counter. So we'll turn the water on, get it to a good temperature that will work for bread, which that feels right. And now this is the difficult part, holding the cup steady. And that looks good, and drop it right in there. And the recipe does call for a cup and 2 tablespoons, and since our house is kind of dry, I just put a little bit more in here. So that's perfect. The next ingredient that we need, I believe, is sugar or salt. Okay, so I kind of lied. We have butter next, and then we have salt. So this is the butter, and it's just 1/4 of a margarine square, because I know that 1 square is about 1/2 cup, and if you put that into 4, it's about 2 tablespoons, so this will work for me. So I just have to peel this and drop it in, and it is in the water. Okay, so next up we have the sugar, and we need a teaspoon of that. So this is a teaspoon, and then I think this is the sugar. And I do know that because it's braille labeled. Just take this off, the lid off, and this is my teaspoon, and we need 2 of them. And I kind of just feel with my fingers if it feels level. that looks good. So we'll put it into the bread. And we need just one more of those. So, just like that. And, all right, perfect. Now we need a teaspoon plus a quarter teaspoon of salt. And I don't exactly have a quarter of a teaspoon, so I just put a full teaspoon plus approximately a quarter of the spoon. And I have noticed and learned that the salt and the sugar aren't the most important things in the bread, so if you put a little bit too much or a little too less, it's not the biggest deal. Whereas if you put a little more water or a little less water or yeast, that would be more of a big deal. So this is a teaspoon of salt, and we need a quarter. So I'm just going to, as I said before, just a little bit in there. That looks good. It's kind of just a little bit below the half as I can feel it. And perfect. So next up we have the flour. We have 2 ingredients left. We have the flour and then the yeast. So I have my 1 cup here, and this is the flour. And we'll open this up. And a good trick for this flour is it tends to not be level, so I just make a fist and use 1 finger, or just use 1 finger to level off the flour. And we need 3 cups of this. So push this, and that is way too much flour. So you just make a fist and use 1 finger to push it off. And that feels level. And we'll put it into the pan. We need just 2 more of those. Kind of spilled some flour, but that always happens because it's a pretty big measuring cup. So 1 more. After this one, we have 1 more. And that already feels pretty level. Just like that. All right, that feels level. And then after this, we just have 1 more cup of flour, and then we have a teaspoon of yeast. All right, that's it. That is 3 cups of flour. And now all we need is 1 teaspoon of yeast. Here's the yeast that I like to use. And I will grab the spoons, and this is 1 teaspoon. Oh, this lid is, there we go. Got it. All right, this is the last ingredient, and then you can put it in the bread maker and get the bread going. All right. Let's feel if that's level. It does actually feel very good. All right. Pour it in just like that. And we're done. All right, we are done. So now, this is all of our ingredients. And we have to walk over here to the bread maker. Just making sure there's nothing in my way because there might be a chair or something. So we'll open this lid, and I did already plug this in. I think, I'll check in a second, but turn this and it's now locked in place. Just gotta close the lid, and nope, it's not plugged in. So I'll come over here and plug this in. And the default settings on here are what we need, except I just need to press the color button. I would label these buttons, but I know that this is program, so you choose what you're making, and then you have color, size, and start. And so I just press color once, and now it should be at a light color, and then you just press start. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, make sure to click that thumbs up button below and subscribe. That would help me out a very lot. Also below I have links to my Facebook page where I play piano. So check that out if you want to. Bye.